Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. Sydney Warner, Fred Warner's wife, just posted a photo of Fred Warner coming out of surgery, and she said, "Next chapter for Fred Warner." So it looks like he has had successful surgery. He is out. He is got a long road ahead of him, but he is nothing but made of the right stuff to come back from a devastating injury like this. And honestly, it probably is better than an ACL or an Achilles. Dislocated and broken. Obviously, there's a lot of ligaments and tendons that will need to heal there. But if I just think, I'm going to have to get some more advice from medical friends. But I think the recovery from a broken and dislocated ankle is, Kyle Shanahan said, about 3 months. So you think ACL, Achilles, those are like 6 to 8 months, and then recovery after that. I mean, Fred Warner, it's going to take him a long time for him to recover, but the fact that it's not one of those two, I think is a good thing. Um, Obviously, crazy scary. I mean, seeing Tez Johnson turn away and immediately cover his face because he was so affected by what Fred's ankle looked like. But Fred, man, again, leaving on a cart with basically, hey, man, not a smile necessarily, but a look like this is all going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to get over this. I'm going to come back. And, he told the guys in the locker room, I'm going to come back better, bigger, faster, stronger. And I have no doubt that Fred Warner is that guy who will do that. So sending healing vibes to Fred Warner and obviously carrying vibes to Sydney and the family. He will get to spend time with his family, which, I think when you look at injuries like that, it's, you got to take the positives where the positives are. And that is getting to spend more time with his family, with Bo. I think she is due in a few months. So, I think anytime that he gets to spend with his family is good. It's good for his foundation. It's good for his mental health, all that stuff. So Kyle Shanahan's conference call yesterday, so much information. And I was on a flight late last night, so didn't get a chance to do a video. But they are hoping to get George Kittle back to practice this week. And the goal is to have him play on Sunday. So while the defensive side of the ball is beat up and injured with Nick Bosa being out and Fred Warner obviously being out, offense could be getting some guys back. They are going to monitor Ricky Pearsall and Brock Purdy. Ricky Pearsall with the knee PCL, Brock Purdy with his toe. They're going to, hopefully get back in this week and be able to do a little bit more. They're evaluating, then that's for Brock Purdy. Ricky Pearsall, they're evaluating his knee and seeing whether he'll be able to come back or not. They'll have to decide that tomorrow, which is Wednesday. They are hoping that Brock will be able to come back and do a little bit more. Yetur Gross-Matos with a hamstring, he's going to have to continue to rehab. Kevin Givens is still going to practice, potentially could be back in the mix this week. They hope so, but they're not sure. So as far as Fred's recovery, they're thinking, maybe he should be good to go by the offseason program, which is OTAs. So, when they come back for OTAs in March, April, those off-season training programs, conditioning and stuff, Fred Warner could be back at that point. So they think for sure that is a goal, and they think that's attainable. So again, talked about what Cam Inman pointed out in that there were only 10 men on the field on the play that Fred Warner got hurt. What happened, it was special teams, and whoever was supposed to be at right defensive end was in the game at special teams and was supposed to stay out there for that first snap. And they didn't. And I asked Kyle Shanahan, and he would say, it doesn't matter. We should have had another D end out there. And I literally asked him point blank, who was the special teams guy who was supposed to be out there? But he said he was out there. We thought he was out there. He came off the field. We didn't realize it until the snap and needed 11 out there. Would have called a timeout if I saw it, but I didn't, and it was an unfortunate mistake. So that was what Kyle Shanahan said. That's Deommodore Lenoir. He was asked about Deommodore Lenoir and whether he's ready to step up as, a leader on the team. And yes, of course, they like what he's been doing, but different role. I mean, it's really got to be coming from Tatum Bethune and D Winters, who are now the middle said. Like they're the linebackers now. So maybe this is the point where Nick Martin gets thrown into the mix a little bit. So he's been inactive for every game so far, but I see him and you can tell he wants to get out there so badly. So this could be an opportunity for Nick Martin. Previously, Robert Saleh said he's got to perform on special teams to be able to get out there. So, but now with Fred Warner out, maybe he does get some time. Malik Mustafa played well. He's going to work his way back into the starting role for this coming week. I think, they like what he's done out there. Marquise Siegel and Malik Mustafa together, that was the goal previous to being, after the draft. They were like, these are our two starting safeties. Obviously, Malik Mustafa was coming off an ACL, who is already looking like himself out there. There were some, missed assignments out there a little bit, but, getting back in the swing of things, there's a little bit of rust. Communication and coverage and all of those things that happen when guys go out there to play. So I think he'll get better as he gets more reps out on the field. So yeah, Jason Pinnock is kind of off the starting lineup for now. They're going to see how it goes. And so it's Jair Brown is going to mix in with Malik Mustafa and Marquise Siegel. One of them will be big nickel. And then Jason Pinnock, it was just a couple snaps on special teams. So this is what Kyle Shanahan said about those three guys. It's like, I think we've got three guys who are capable there, and those are what all those three guys are battling for. I don't think one's fully taken it and run with it like Mustafa did last year. So that's something that we're going to continue to evaluate, but I don't think I don't think any of that's set in stone. We're trying to hope that they make the decision easy for us. So, they're waiting for one of those guys to stand out and really kind of take the role. As far as the offensive line, Kyle Shanahan said that Dominic Puni has played better and Connor Colby is getting a lot of experience. So without saying that they're not playing up to par, he's saying that they're not playing up to par. So Dominic Puni probably still seeing some effects of that hyperextended knee during the preseason. And Connor Colby just, getting his feet wet again in the offensive line. And Ben Barch is not ready to come back yet. They really need him out there. High ankle sprain, he is eligible to have his practice window open this week, but it's not going to happen. He also talked about John Jennings and their confrontation, and he said they're good. So it's going to be an interesting practice tomorrow. Kyle Shanahan will talk again. We'll get more information, but that is what he said on Monday. Sorry, it's a little delayed. Travel back from the East Coast and delayed flight, and I didn't want to do this in the airport. It just wasn't appropriate. So I don't want to be one of those people on speakerphone, on FaceTime, video, speaker. Why? Why do people do that? Anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Have a great afternoon.